Hey, it's Joddie Taylor of SnackySays.com. Welcome back to my podcast. Today, I'm going to be sharing 3 things that I'm wondering about. I had a podcast episode like this before, and I'll put in the show notes, and that one was aptly named 5 Things I'm Wondering About. So let's get into it, not in order of importance. Number 1, I'm wondering how I could get better at doing book reviews. I've written and recorded more book reviews in the last couple of years than I have ever posted. I will write them over and over again, record them over and over again. I feel like I'm not conveying like how great the book was or the details. What made me think of this is last night I watched a book review that Kesha Collin did, and I'll put it in the show notes. Immediately, I thought like, gosh, this is so great. How can I do this? She didn't give any spoilers. She conveyed why she liked or didn't like a book. And I thought she was succinct about it, even though in the comments she added some clarifications, but I thought she was spot on. And I don't mean this, I don't mean it in a self-deprecating manner. I'm not like, oh, man, woe is me. I just want to get better at it. And I guess to answer my question, the only way to get better at it is to actually do it. Like, I think I'm going to record more book reviews or write more book reviews in the newsletter, the Snacky Says newsletter, and then like publish them. I think what happens is to me, in my mind, and you tell me if you've seen where I mention books, I kind of feel like, read this book, I love it, or this is a great book, but I don't get into the details the way I want. And I think it's because I'm anxious. I'm not sure that I can convey it in like how I feel and why I think you should read it. So sometimes I'm like, you know what, you be the judge. And I think the last book I posted about was Outlive by Dr. Peter Attia. And I put it in the April Snacky Says newsletter, and it was literally best read this month. And I put the book. I don't know. Did I even put a sentence after it? The reason I'll try here. I'll try to do a better job here. The reason why I enjoy this book, I'm actually still going through it, is because he puts forth the idea that I think has been on my mind, but he encapsulates like, listen, longevity is great. That's how long we're going to live. But let's talk about health span. And he actually says something pretty early in the book that really resonated with me. And I'm going to paraphrase it. Like, I love the idea of kind of crashing into my coffin, which is funny because I want to be cremated, not buried, but like hard and fast, baby, hard and fast. Like that decade going by really quick, that last decade, because I'm having so much fun. And then when I do decline, it's because, I had a good run and it's quick. It's like not feeling well, gone. As opposed to not feeling well, diagnosis, prognosis, in bed for 10 years. Nah, hard pass, miss me on that. If I have my druthers, I want to crash into the coffin. Totally paraphrasing. You're not going to see this in his book. But that's what I loved about it. And I don't think I conveyed that at all. Even in the audio recording I did, I was kind of like, I talked about longevity, but I didn't make it clear that I didn't even use the term health span. What I'm really talking about is improving our health. We're in this together. Why not? We're in this together. Yeah, so that's what I'm wondering about. Number 1, that was book review. And again, not in order of importance. I'm going to work on that because I do read a fair bit, not just health and fitness books. I'm deep into paranormal romance. And I love happy endings. I think that's the other thing. Yeah, that's fine. Even if I do love happy endings. The books that Kesha Collins talked about, most of them were like pretty, her words, not mine, like dark. that's not my cup of tea. So I won't be reading most of the books that she mentioned, even though there are some that she mentioned that I have read, like the Brown Sisters. I still need to read that third book. Where is it? It's a physical copy, unfortunately. Me and physical copies of books. Where is it? I feel like I just saw it. I don't, unless it's a cookbook, for some reason I just will not read it. I just won't finish it. So I think that might have been one of the last physical like hard copy books that I bought. I'm just going to stick to audiobooks and ebooks. All right, let's move on. Next up, the universe. I'm wondering why the universe likes to be cute. And I'll give you some examples. If you've ever worked at a hotel, at a restaurant, and been like, oh, it's kind of quiet, and then somebody says it out loud, like, oh, it looks like it's going to be a quiet night. I'll put in Nurse Johnn, who is hilarious, even if you're not into nursing. Like, I'm not into nursing or a nurse, but his shorts are just hilarious. He has a short where it's like someone says, have a quiet night, and everything goes wrong. You know, it's a busy night all night. That's what I mean when the universe is like being cute. So the other day I posted, well, actually not the other day, but I posted, I haven't posted yet, but I recorded a podcast episode saying one of the things I said was, I'm in the best shape of my life. Ha! Not 24 hours later, I worked out and it was brutal. My bones were creaking. I couldn't get the steps. It was just a show. Just in case kids are in the room. Man, it was like I said that and the universe was like, hold my beer. I'm going to show her otherwise. Why is the universe like that, man? It's like, give me a break. Will you? Could you give me a break? So now I feel like I'm on the comeback all of a sudden with my fitness the last few days. Thanks, universe. Thanks for humbling me when it was uncalled for and nobody asked you. Thanks, universe. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about, the other thing I'm wondering about is the future or near future of my fitness. There are things that I used to do, like run and dance Hawaiian hula, that I don't do anymore for a variety of reasons. Running due to injury. Yeah. That was the end of that. My hip is still not the same. But I saw a sign for a fun run the other day, and I was curious and excited. So I think running might be in my future. And I feel like I've been thinking about this on and off because now I'll do it differently. What I did in the past was just run. I ran all the time. Run. No cardio, no other cardio, no strength training, no stretching. I was barely stretching, if that. I mean, I really wasn't stretching most of the time before or after the run, not properly and not consistently. And again, mostly I wasn't stretching at all. But now I've learned a lot and I think I could do it differently. So maybe there's a 5K in my future. I kind of feel like I might want to walk it because when I run, I feel like I walk faster than I run, air quotes. The other thing is my friend Kariko is in Hawaii right now. Kariko was also my Hawaiian hula instructor in Korea. She lives in Korea. I used to live in Korea too, and I studied with her for many years. And when I saw her dancing and I saw her pictures, I was so choked up, and I can't wait to dance with her again. That's going to happen. Like whether she's in the States or I'm in Korea, we will dance together again. But I miss it so much. Dancing is something that I was not good at. I would say, in my opinion, I think I'm good at it now. At least I've improved a lot. And I'm still not sure why I stuck with it as long as I did, because I really, really wasn't good at first. I wasn't good at it. I wasn't good at practicing when I was supposed to be practicing. But after a few years, something clickety-click-clacked, and I really started to get it. Like I finally became that person who could, watch her do a dance and pick it up. But that's probably because I had learned the basic steps and some other steps over the years. So that was a lesson I still really don't know why I stuck to it. But that was like a lesson for me to keep at something I'm not good at. Generally, I really had to work on that over the years. I still work on that. I like to do things I'm good at, but that's not that's not always like going to be better for me, my growth, my personal growth, as a person, just as, a human being. So yeah, I think I'm going to get back to that. I don't know how. I did take an online class a few years ago when I got back to the States, and it was a show. Different teaching style. It just wasn't good. So I kind of had these two bad experiences, not with Kriko, but with the second hula dancing experience. And then with running, I had the bad experience of getting hurt. But I feel like I'm ready to get back in the saddle with those two things. Another thing, too, is I've been working out at home for so long, and I feel like probably within the next year or less, we'll see. I think I'm going to try a gym. I think I'm going to try maybe even some classes just to try something different. And I would love a professional in-person opinion about some of my goals or maybe even how I'm performing things. And while I have dumbbells, I don't have a barbell. And I think I'd like to try some workouts on machines. In the past, it didn't work out schedule-wise. And if I was traveling and I went to a hotel gym, I was afraid. I've always been afraid of the machines in the gym. Like, I just get on things that I think I can figure out. But I think I'm ready. So I'm wondering. I'm wondering. I'm wondering what my fitness activities are going to be like the next year or two, maybe even less. I think I'm gonna change things up and revisit some things and try a bunch of new things. Yeah, so that's what I'm wondering. I feel like there was something else I wanted to chat about. Let me think. Oh, it was keyboard warriors. So that'll be 4, and I'll make it quick. I've noticed, and maybe you've noticed too, that no matter what type of content I'm consuming, it could be learning Chinese, it could be fitness, it could be cooking, recipes. There are these like keyboard warriors. Keyboard warriors are probably what it sounds like. Somebody like a troll. They're making comments, unnecessary, mean comments. And I think they probably wouldn't say these things to your face if you're the content creator. But, behind the anonymity of the keyboard, they're saying these things. And it just blows my mind in a not nice way. I really don't like to see those things. And I just wonder what people get out of taking time out of their day to like try to bring someone down. If you're a content creator, even if you're just like, you have a blog or a podcast like this, you're like sharing a little bit of yourself. You're sharing a recipe. Maybe it's special to you. Maybe you created it. Maybe it's, like a generational recipe. Like, you're just taking time to share something you love and you thought people might be interested in. Again, doesn't matter the form. Could be your own social media posts. It could be like a whole YouTube video. And then here comes someone trying to tear you down. Like, why? Why? I saw a post on LinkedIn. Someone posted, went for a walk. Walking is great for your health. And then someone took the time to write a whole paragraph about how the poster should have said that sleep and nutrition play a critical role, and you should do these other things. And it's like, easy, bro, relax. Yes, it's true that with fitness, it's not just usually, as far as I know, it's in my experience, it's not just one thing. There are many factors. But it's a post on LinkedIn. It's not a thesis. It's not a textbook. It's not instructions on how to be fit. He's minding his business on his walk out in nature. Come on. Why is it like that? I think that's why I like anonymous. I've always liked anonymous bloggers and vloggers. And fun fact, the first 3 websites that I had were all anonymous, including SnackySays.com, which I then eventually put my picture, like my real picture. I had like a drawing that my sister did of me as my picture. And I put like my name and da-da-da. But there's something to be said for anonymity. I really love anonymous bloggers and vloggers, and you'll see that in a lot of the links that I share. There's a vibe to it. I think you can be really successful no matter the area. Again, like some of my favorite bloggers in the personal finance space are anonymous, and same for organization and cooking. Everyone doesn't have to know what you look like, or, you know, more details about you than what you want to focus on. I really admire those. I admire anybody who's putting out content, whether they're anonymous or, you know, giving all the details of their life. I do think that folks, something to keep in mind is whether just because someone is giving you a lot of details, it doesn't mean that you can just say whatever, or they're just giving you a little slice, or they're completely anonymous. And I know that I'm no doubt preaching to the choir, right? I don't for a moment think that most folks are but do you hear that? My bones are like creaking. I was in top shape just a few days ago. I don't know what happened. All right, let me end here. That's a sign. I'm actually going to head out for a walk. But where I wanted to end this is, I know I'm preaching to the choir. It's just been top of mind because the last week I've seen this across all different types of content. And I am probably going to take a break from reading comments, because it just never ceases to amaze me. People will find fault with anything. It's just... Okay, let's end here. Thank you so much for listening. That was 4 things that I've been wondering lately. I really appreciate you taking time to listen. You could be doing anything, and you chose to listen to this podcast episode. If you like what you heard, if you enjoy my podcast, the SnackySays podcast featuring moi, Joddie Taylor, please share it with a friend or 3. I really appreciate you listening. This is Joddie. My Substack is joddie.substack.com. Thank you for listening, and take care.